No, your eyes are not deceiving you. There's no VSC sticker today. Okay, here we go.
Good morning.
That was so enthusiastic, Liz. Good morning. I stand back here so you can see the top of my head. Welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
I was going to say the VSC edition, but it's not because you were like, it's not. So my brain's
It's
like,
Wednesday.
okay, wait, what is it?
It's Wednesday. And I keep playing around with where I'm putting the camera, but you know. It's Wednesday, so technically it's the VSC, but we're about to go on break, so we're not going to have only select items on sale for the next week because we're not filming next Wednesday to swap them. I have a mini plan, kind of, but I should stick to our formula. Hi, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber, and sun is trying to come out, but it's still going to be cold today, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
So sad. Not really, but yes, Liz is here. Yay. So lost my train of thought because I've had like 2 sips of coffee today.
That's a problem.
This is in my face because
Sorry.
Don't know why Liz is sorry because I'm the one who put it there. I couldn't get out of bed this morning because the cat woke me up at 4. Maybe I got back to sleep at 5, but he kept saying, "No, don't sleep, pet me." And luckily he didn't bite me, but there were several times when he looked like he was going to bite me. And it was just, not pleasant.
It was an Avi morning.
Yeah, but I didn't want to get up at 4. So I set my my sleep thing to play the Crashing Waves again so I could get back to sleep around 5. Which meant, I was telling Liz, when the Pockbell's Cannon went off. Actually, no, it's not Pockbell's Cannon. It's Eric Satie, which I really like. It plays Eric Satie, which I used to play on the piano, to gently wake me up between 6 and 6:30. My brain went, oh, it's playing more stuff to lull me to sleep more. And I learned that my sleep app, if you don't wake up and turn it off, will then start buzzing at you, like the vibrations of the phone, to gently nudge you a little more. Instead of just being like, hello, it's time to get up. It's like, hey, it's time to, which is a lot like what the cat was doing to me at 4 in the morning. So then I turned that off and set my regular alarm. And that went off and I said, no, I want more sleep. So I reset it for a half hour later. And then I texted Liz a little after 7:30 saying, I am trying to get out of bed.
I just got out of bed at that point. Like, partly because I had to go to the bathroom. That was the only reason.
That kind of is what drives us up at this point. We're getting older and I need to go to the bathroom. So, yeah. That happened to me at 4. When the cat woke me up, I was like, well, I'm up. And actually, so I was trying not to disturb the cat because he's actually in a snuggly mood, which he's not very often. So I got out of bed on the other side, and my foot hit the window fan, which is not in the window, on my way by. But somehow it's still plugged in.
If it hit the window fan and it was still in the window, it would be really, really funny.
So it was on the floor and my foot hit it. Yes, Liz has a good point. That's empirical evidence. And I was, the whole point of getting out of bed on that side was so I wouldn't disrupt the cat and annoy him. And the fan turning on randomly in the middle of the night annoyed him and made him go, what? Huh? Yeah. So, failed miserably at that. But I think he's been out of sorts because I pulled my suitcase out on Sunday or Monday just so I could start planning ahead, and he's not used to that. So he's like, suitcase is out. You're leaving. And why haven't you left yet? And I am all out of sorts. That's my cat. So, yeah. That was my morning.
That's why we're having knit night on Friday night, because you're already packing. Instead of waiting till Friday night to pack.
Oh, yeah, I'm still going to be running around like a chicken with my head cut off after midnight on Friday. Because my plane leaves Greenville right around noon. And which means I want to get there. I'm actually fairly good at being on time or early to plane stuff. Mm-hmm. So it means I want to get down there around 10 to give myself enough time to... I don't even know what the parking situation is going to be like down there. Last year it was great because they just opened a new parking lot. But now that they have all that new parking, I feel like it's going to be a problem. You know? So to get down there, I don't know what to do if the lots are full down there because I'm flying on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I don't have an option B. So I'm going to have to go figure out where to park. Which means leaving here, the airport is about an hour and a half from my house because I'm south of here. But I still think I'm going to leave 2 hours before I need to be down there. So for a noon flight, I'm going to leave my house 8 o'clock. That's air travel, right?
I would, just so that you have plenty of
time to figure out an option B. Like, go complain at the airport if there's no parking of where the heck am I supposed to park? Bigger cities, they have like the park and fly, you know, where you pay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm going to pay at the airport too. But I've never had a problem at Greenville of finding parking at the airport. So I haven't investigated. I could probably do that before I go down. I'm sure there are park and fly things around the airport, but it's a small airport. So I don't know. Not as small as the one in Champaign where I'm going, although I'm flying into Bloomington this time. Anyway, so, the inner workings of my head. Aren't you all happy? And yeah. So I'm trying to like my goal for this weekend was to do laundry and clean the house a little bit. Didn't get the cleaning the house part done. I did. I've gotten the cat litter boxes all straightened out over the past couple weeks. I've done some laundry. I'm gonna have to do some more. I'm gonna have to go to the grocery store today because I still need a couple of things that weren't on my shopping list on Monday when I went. So even though I should have remembered them, they weren't on my shopping list. So I was halfway home and went, So I'm going to stop on the way home. I'm almost out of sugar in my house.
That's a problem.
And there are very few things HelloFresh expects you to provide, but one of them is sugar. And I'm supposed to be deep frying cauliflower tonight, and somehow I think there's sugar involved in that. So I'm stopping at the grocery store on the way home.
I'm probably going to go to the grocery store on the way home just so I have enough ice cream to get me through next week and I don't have to leave the house.
And all of this is predicated on we might be getting snow on tomorrow.
Maybe. It might be warm enough that it rains. Nobody's really sure.
There's potential bad weather for like the entire, or like a good chunk of the country.
Oh, yeah.
Over the next couple of days. And I'm hoping I can just fly out on Saturday, you know. So,
Mom in Texas is like, somebody was like, Texas should prepare for cold. But it's Texas. It's like Hawaii preparing for winter. Like, Bernie goes, they had a blizzard in Hawaii the other day. And I'm like, yeah.
We're getting so far off track.
Well,
yes, continue.
I know, winter preparedness.
Yes.
Like, you know.
You I didn't mean to cut you off. You had a story.
No, the preparing for winter in Texas. Okay. But it's Texas. It's like,
but you would think after that craziness they had, what was that, 2 years ago? Was it last year?
Yeah.
I can't tell time anymore.
Well,
you think they'd be mildly prepared after that, but no, because they think that's not going to happen again?
Well, it doesn't happen.
I'm keeping us off track right now.
It doesn't happen as like winter in the mountains. It always happens. At least, you know, the temperatures get cold.
I get
But
okay.
It does get cold in Texas. It does get cold in Hawaii, but it's so far and few between that
they've already forgotten from last
winter.
They've
forgotten. Yeah, because, you know, I mean, around here, people have forgotten how many frosts we've had because most of them happened in October. So
I don't keep track of frosts, so that's why I've forgotten. Because
it wasn't
to me, it's not relevant. But
it wasn't you. It was somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah. That was
I
like...
have no idea what we're talking about.
We had a really hard frost, early this week, and Friday. It was Friday last week.
I don't do outdoorsy
Anyway.
things with plants, so I don't pay attention.
And I was talking to somebody, and they're like, yeah, we haven't had any frost this year, except for this one. And I'm like, October. We had a lot in October, but, you know.
So...
Sorry, I'm rambling.
Because I never ramble. Come
Nope.
on. I can't get mad at you because I do this too. I said when we turned the camera on, it's not really a VSC, can you tell? So here's the deal. Is normally on Wednesdays we talk about yarn and things. And I think there is a benefit to showing off knickknacks and doodads and fun things. And we could do that with some of our remaining time. But they're not going to be... I don't want to confuse people because there's not going to be a code that works on anything we talk about today unless we revisit last week's. Because what I'm going to do... We have like 3 days until we go on break. And when we shut the doors to the shop, in terms of when... excuse me. When a day hits when the shop should be open and it's not, a.k.a. Saturday... That is when our sale code for 20% off everything in the online shop will turn on. I almost made it sound like when we walk out of the door here on Friday, but that's not going to happen. So it is set that the code HOLIDAYBREAK, 2 words but smushed together, HOLIDAYBREAK, all one phrase, no spaces, will save you 20% in almost everything in the online shop. But only what we have in stock in the online shop while we are gone. Have fun. Buy us out of everything. And hopefully the inventory online doesn't glitch, because it does that every once in a while. But buy us out of everything. And when we come back, that code will work all the way through January 2nd. And then January 3rd, when we come back, we will start filling orders. And we will send it all to y'all. So, the things that will not be on sale are the already reduced items like the Surprise Me Sale Bin Support Box and the pre-orders like the Viking shirts. We still need y'all to order Viking shirts. We will not be able to pull the trigger on getting those printed until we have enough ordered. And we are getting there, but we are kind of inching there. I don't know if people are waiting for Viking shirts because they're like, but once they order them, then I can get them on sale at some point, or I'll get it, but not now. If everybody does that, we can't order the shirts. We have some people who've ordered, and thank you, and we love you. But until we get a tipping point, we'll try to over order once we hit the tipping point to pay for the shirts. But we need to pay for the shirts. We don't have the excess cash flow like we did for our dragon shirts, which were really fun to order. We don't have the excess cash flow to just go ahead and order those ahead of time because it's pricey, you know. So that's one of the reasons we haven't done like mugs or things like that, because the shirts work the same way. You need to order enough to bring the price down to make it manageable and not have to charge you all like $50 for a t-shirt.
And mugs and stuff, we have to order such
like
huge quantities.
500 or 1,000, and where are we going to put those? So we are not getting mugs in anytime soon. We haven't found someone who can produce them at a pace or a rate that we can feel comfortable charging you a reasonable amount for. So, but the shirts are another matter. We just need to hit the right tipping point, which means we encourage you not to hold off on ordering shirts. But those shirts will not be on sale during the time we're gone. They will still be full price even if you put the code in. So you can contact me by emailing me over break and ask, but I will answer everything but shirts and things that are already reduced. So Surprise Me Sale Bin Support Boxes, Minion Bags of Mystery, which are like leftover remnants, little tastes of yarn, and you don't know what you're going to get till you get the box.
Partly because we don't know what's in them until I make them.
But that's only $10, and if we took a deduction on the $10, then we'd have to deduct how much we're sending you. So, anyway, but everything else in there, lots and lots of yarn. We have new colors of Alba and refill colors of Alba that came in. We got new colors of Fair Isle. We've been trying to either restock or like around the edges or bring in a couple of new colors. Ito is always a crazy one for us because we randomly sell out of colors and then they're back ordered. So Noro is always hard to keep in stock. But we highly encourage you to take advantage of this wonderful sale while we are gone. Buy us out of things. That'd be lovely. So, and watch social media or this channel. We won't be filming regularly next week, but we might try to do one of those side-by-sides at some point. I'll be in Illinois. She'll be here. It won't be as good quality as what we've been filming on my phone lately, but we might say hi. What flavor of almonds are you eating?
Dark chocolate.
Ooh, she's got like almonds with little thin coatings of stuff on them. Snacks. Yay. I should be drinking my coffee.
I was hungry and we have no cookies.
My sister emailed, or she texted the family last night to be like, okay, we're going to have some bad weather, so we should get to the grocery store just in case we can't get to the grocery store because there's be bad weather. So what do y'all want for food? And I'm thinking, whatever y'all buy, just make sure you get a little bit more and I will find something to eat. But then she's like, but what do you have for breakfast? And I'm like, do you really want to hear this? Because when I see family, my parents make oatmeal and I'm like, hey, you made oatmeal, I'll have some. You know, I don't make oatmeal for myself. I don't have the time and energy and want to clean the dishes. So I have a yogurt, which I don't like kind of making people buy food for me. So if the yogurt's not out at the house in Illinois, I just won't have it. It's okay. Because by the time I get there, the bad weather will have come through, so I'm not going to the grocery store for myself out there, most likely. But I said I have a little Activia yogurt, and then if there's time, I have half a bagel with cream cheese or something else on it. And if there's not, I come in here and I have a breakfast bar or a cookie. I did not tell them the cookie part or the almonds. I didn't. I stopped there. I stopped with things that sound like breakfast food. Yeah. Because then we'd have a whole discussion when I go out there about how I'm eating. Then I'm okay. I'm good. So, I will update y'all since, I don't know, apart from the code, we haven't really been talking about anything knitting related. And I swore when I started this channel that we wouldn't go off on such tangents that we'd never get around to talking about. Yeah. Okay, so I left all my other Vikings at home. Vikings, I call them Vikings now. My other gnomes, my Christmas gnomes. I started the wizard one last night. This is the body. This is the first one where it's not closing off and stuffing the body. It's making the pieces, and I guess when I assemble, I will stuff. I got this far through the little hat. Like, people last night saw this. And maybe, I think when Knit Night... Oh, I gotta find that later. I just dropped my hook. It's by my feet. I'm fine. Okay. But I had, like, this much of the hat done when I got off Knit Night. So I got a little bit virtual sit and stitch because I was crocheting. I got a little bit more done. I am almost to the full width of the hat. And then there's going to be a little bit more of a brim. So if all else fails, I'll give my dad this. This guy has hands and feet.
I was going to say you could fill it with M&Ms and have it like a refillable gnome for his desk.
Don't want to get into the conversation about snacks and food and stuff with my dad because that can go lots of different ways. I know. Yeah. But he'd do it. So I've picked this blue, which is the shop blue I've been using for all the Viking gnome faces. And I think this guy, because he's an epic wizard gnome, which I'm turning into a hiking gnome, he has a cape. Mm-hmm. And see, the original pattern has all different colors of gray. I think this is the body of my mom's. Mm-hmm. I think this is going to be the cape color. And then this will be like the boots. And I've been using... I want to say this is the ash rose color for, I'm trying to use all old dye lots. There's a few that I've had there weren't old dye lots and I like the colors, so I picked new ones from Cascade 220 Superwash, but this was an old dye lot of the ash rose. This has been my flesh tone for all my Vikings. Just because they're going to my family, who's pale, you know. If I was making them for someone else, I might try to match their skin tone as best we can with what we have. But I think this, I'm doing outdoorsy colors for the hiking gnome. And then there's a little staff. I think I'm going to turn it into a longer walking pole. And that will probably be, I don't think I got a walnut heather that I've been working with, but I do still have some of the chocolatey brown.
The chocolatey brown will
I think that'll work.
Great.
Yeah. So my hope is to have this guy mostly done. He may not be totally done, but be mostly done by tomorrow, so I can bring in all of my gnomes and show them off. I think that would be fun for our final filming before vacation, before our holiday break, which is the code you can use while we're gone to save 20%. Yeah, I've been telling everyone, if you have any issues with the online shop, email me. If I get an email within the time frame of the sale, I can document that you tried. And if you're trying to buy something that's not in the online shop, I can't fix that. But if you're trying to buy something in the online shop and the code's not working, contact me rather than hitting go on the sale, because we can figure it out. So, what else do we want to talk about before we go today? She's got nothing.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday, Death Day?
Wednesday, Death Day.
We find the second day of the week, we end up really tired when we go home. Yesterday was a tiring day. Yesterday, it was like a turnstile of people coming in and out of the shop. And we're not used to that, especially not in December. So it was a lot.
I did you a sticky note, another set of numbers.
For today?
Today.
Oh, Lordy. I don't think I want to see.
Well, I did the 21st through the 23rd. Like, how much?
She does a lot of numbers of, like, what we did in past years, and like, so I can kind of number crunch as the day goes on, how today compares. It keeps me stable. Sometimes it makes me sad, but it often keeps me stable, and sometimes makes me happy, because sometimes we're doing really well. Overall, this year has been our best year. Not every month has been the best month ever since opening 5+ years ago now. But overall, and I want to thank you all for that, because I think you have been a great big part of that. Like, reaching out to people outside of in town, right? Or the Western North Carolina area, I think has been a really big part of that.
It's funny, because this week in particular, I've noticed a huge uptick of locals going, "Did you just open? How long have you been here?"
I know.
Like,
what's up with that? People saying, "Well, is this a new shop?" In the lifetime of Brevard, maybe, but we've been open 5 years. So they usually mean, like, "Hey, did you just open?" And it's like,
yeah, it's just...
They're wandering more of town, maybe.
Yeah.
There's more things up here it looks like an actual plaza, although there's a pile of chairs out there that really annoys me.
You know what? Friday.
When we leave, we should do something fun with it.
We should, like, stack a pyramid and see how long
Okay, so you see what happened was... there are all these tables with chairs all over the plaza, and Quixotes, and we love Quixotes. They're lovely neighbors, and they make excellent food, and we recommend going to their restaurant if you're ever in town, because you will love their food. But when people work there and they have to pull together a bunch of tables, so like December 3rd, when we had the Light Up the Night event, they pulled together most of the tables to make a long table with chairs around it for a large group. And that meant they left a whole bunch. There were chairs around the tables that they pulled that they just left. And they have just been a pile. They've just been a haphazard, like, there's no organization to them. They haven't touched it. Like, it's right out, it's within 10 feet of our shop. But I feel like they haven't touched it since December 3rd. And we haven't moved it because I feel like it's not our responsibility. If it was in the way of our shop, we would do it. But they keep stealing the tables and chairs anyway, because they need them more than we do. Absolutely granted. We have our little table up on the gazebo, or 2 tables, and that's fine. And sometimes we have to steal those back because they've been used for big groups or something. And so, we don't need the tables, so they can use them, absolutely. But it leaves a mess. And I think everyone's like, well, we don't need those, so we'll just leave them there. And yeah, so there's just, they're not organized. They're all over the place. They're not impeding traffic to our shop, so it's fine. But yeah, I really want to build like a jungle gym out of them at this point.
It's going to be windy. That's the only catch, 22.
Yeah, well, and we're not going to do anything that's going to endanger anybody. But yeah, I really want to. I want to make some kind of creation out of them, even if it's just the way that they're facing, so we can tell if we come back in a week if they've been touched at all. It'd be interesting.
I think it's going to be cold enough. No one is eating outside,
so they're not going to notice.
Yeah.
So we can have fun.
Yeah.
I can make flowers out of them. We'll see. One big flower with petals.
Write something. There's enough tears.
We could write something only we would know, because only we would know what it looks like from way up high, unless like Linda looks over from her balcony, or like Annie and Charlie, and then they'll see. What I'd write might be not appropriate to say on this show, so or want to write, but I wouldn't. I'll be good. I've been watching too much Welcome to Wrexham. That's what I've been doing. All right, so this has been a rambling episode, and not everyone watches the VSC, but we didn't really show stuff off. We only have one little pocket. I want to say calculator, pocket scale left. I need to find mine. I'm not sure where I left it. I put it somewhere for safekeeping, and now I can't find it. As one does. But we have all these fun gadgets and gizmos, and I've been thinking about our little, people keep coming in for stocking stuffers and last minute stocking, if you're local enough, the little tape measures and things. You should really explore the site while we're gone. I know you'll be bereft without us, so if you need something to do, just poke around on the site, especially in notions and yarns and everything. And email me if you have questions. When I can, I'm going to be trying to spend time with family and rest, but when I can, I will try to answer them. If you're looking for anything in particular, because we would still love to help you find stuff, and then we'll pack it all up when we come back. But tomorrow, did you finish your collar? It looks pretty. Tomorrow, we will have our final episode of the year, and I don't know, we don't have anything special planned, but we'll just see. If there's anything you want us to talk about tomorrow with the Dear Becky and Lizzie episode, you should email Liz@sundragonartandfiber.com. It's after 10. We need to go and open the shop. No one's walking up, but whoops, we kept talking and we got to go open the shop. So we love y'all. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Bye.